Seafood and Seabass Day couldn't it? Seafood 16-1 into 8-1, a real solid each way Irish punt on Desi Hughes's. Seafood £2 bet, or £4 bet at 2-1 on Up and Go.
So the runner's about to be called out for this John Smith's Mersey Novices hurdle. Just a quick reminder about the Horse Tracker app available, the Channel 4 Horse Tracker app. Follow your favourite through the Grand National today. Available for download via the Channel 4 website or at the App Store. They set off on their way with Up and Go, getting a cheer from the crowd in the hands of Jason Maguire as he leads towards the first flight, followed by Edouard in the red and yellow jacket, dodging bullets on the near side. Utopie de Bordes is close up. Then from Seafood, the gambled on Seafood in a green jacket with red sleeves towards the outside, wider out in orange colours, Vasco DC, and then Morning Royalty towards the back of the field, and under restraint is Ubak, who's pulling quite hard in the hands of Jamie Moore. Over the next, Up and Go leading the way, and this horse was very impressive when making the running last time out. Up and Go at Ascot, and he leads by 2 or 3 lengths to Edouard in second place. Utopie de Bordes is in third. You see Barry Geraghty with the yellow armband that shows that he's the leader in the Jockeys Festival title race this week at Aintree, having had the most winners and the most placed horses as well, followed by Dodging Bullets on the inside of Seafood, Ubak between them, and then Vasco DC and Morning Royalty in last place. So they turn towards the home straight for the first time, a 2.5 mile trip here, 11 flights in all to be jumped, and it is Up and Go for the Donald McCain team. And of course Grand National Day has been very kind to the McCain family down the years, and it could be another bright day for the McCains today with 3 runners in the big race, Weird Al, Balla Briggs and Across the Bay, and indeed Overturn to come, and he promises to be a spectacle on this flat left-handed course on fairly good ground. Up and Go leading the way by a couple of lengths to Utopie de Bordes, and Seafood away to the left, followed up the inside then in the red and yellow jacket by Edouard as they jump this next flight. The leader is pretty fluent over his hurdles. Ubak is further back. Then Vasco DC. Dodging Bullets has dropped back a bit, and then Morning Royalty as they race in front of the stands, and they get a cheer, and the applause was ringing out earlier when those past Grand National winners paraded in front of the stand, and that really was a warming sight with the 27-year-old Rough Quest leading that parade. They head towards the back straight. Up and Go by a length and a half to Edouard in second. Utopie de Bordes is back in third under Barry Geraghty. Ubak is 4, followed by Seafood. Then Vasco DC, Dodging Bullets and Morning Royalty. And they've got 3 flights to take in the back straight. And Up and Go, who's won 3 of his 4 starts this season, was a faller on the other occasion at Sandown. Surprisingly so, given that he's a pretty good jumper of hurdles, and this time Jason Maguire saw a stride a long way from the flight there. He spotted it, good 3 or 4 strides off the flight, and the horse responded in good style. Utopie de Bordes, the mare with the white blaze, into second place. Edouard is on the right, on the inside then. Seafood remains handy. Ubak on the extreme left in the orange jacket. Vasco DC, Aidan Coleman's mount, maybe getting a little bit closer from Morning Royalty in a royal blue jacket. And finally, Dodging Bullets. Just haven't been convinced how Dodging Bullets has been travelling here as they jump the last in the back straight. Certainly got it to do at the moment in the hands of Ruby Walsh. Up and Go still leads, but 4 are getting pretty close to this leader. Utopie de Bordes in second place. Then on the outside is Seafood, going well for the young 20-year-old Brian Cooper, who'll be aboard Rare Bob in the National on the outside. Then Edouard up the inside, followed by Ubak, Morning Royalty, Vasco DC now being pushed along, and finally Dodging Bullets. Well, can Up and Go beat them all off here as they approach the home turn? 3 flights left to go, certainly coming under a bit of pressure from 1 or 2 rivals. Utopie de Bordes and Seafood travelling notably kindly on the outside in those red sleeves. Could well land the gamble at this point. Ubak follows these from Edouard, and a gap to Morning Royalty. Heading down towards these third last, and Up and Go has surrendered the lead, and it's Seafood on the left. Utopie de Bordes and Edward is trying to attack, and Ubak is coming through as well. And now push comes to shove for all four of them as they race towards 2 out. And Ubak is challenging between Seafood and Utopie de Bordes. They've got 1 flight left to jump. Ubak in the hands of Jamie Moore. Seafood on the left and Brian Cooper. Utopie de Bordes back in 3rd place under Barry Geraghty. And it's Ubak, who was a strong puller in the early stages, who's now pulling clear and jumps the last in impressive fashion. And on the run for home, it is Ubak who's drawing right away from them here by about 8, 10, 12 lengths here. A win for the Moore family up from Sussex. Gary Moore the trainer, Jamie Moore the jockey. Jamie's on Mumble's head in the National, and he wins the first in tremendous style. Utopie de Bordes was 2nd, Seafood 3rd, then Edouard and Morning Royalty, followed by Up and Go, who weakened fairly tamely in the end, and Dodging Bullets in last place, ran no sort of race at all. Vasco DC was pulled up. A surprise result in the first race then on Grand National Day, Ubak at 22 to 1.
And the reason he was 22 to 1 is that he's never won a race until today. He chooses Grand National Day Ubak to spring into form. Maybe it's the sunshine, the warmth on his back, maybe it's the race conditions, maybe everything just suited him. But Jamie Moore has helped things on board, riding for his father Gary. Jamie will be on board Mumble's head for Peter Bowen in the big race itself, but he has got his afternoon off to a winning start, and we'll get his reaction straight away with